advertise.
I'm an athlete. I am an educator. I'm an EMT. A neurologist. A veteran.
A business owner.
I'm a mom.
We are survivors.
Cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer of women and doesn't discriminate.
It can affect any woman at any age or stage.
Yet many women don't know it's our greatest health threat.
Encourage 3 women you love to learn more about their risk factors and how they can take charge of their health today.
You're watching News 12 live at 5. Continues.
The new mayor of Thompson appears to have closed his paving company due to financial problems. Now, this is the same mayor who ran his campaign on being a successful businessman, telling voters he wanted to make the community successful too. News 12 has learned Benji Cranford was well aware his business was in trouble when he announced he was running. News 12's Hallie Turner has been investigating, and Hallie, you went to his business. What happened there?
Well, Mayor, when we pulled up to CNH Paving in downtown Thompson, there was no logo on the building. The only thing marking the place, a rug that said CNH Paving that we could see through the window. Now, a woman did come out asking us what we were doing and told us to come around to the side door if we wanted to speak. We knocked on that side door several times after she went back in, but no one answered. Instead, a Thompson police officer showed up. He told me that Benji wasn't in town to talk, but I did get a text from him moments later to call him. He wouldn't even give me the chance to tell him why I wanted to speak with him, so I was never able to ask him about his business. But if you Google CNH Paving, it says permanently closed. That business was open during his campaign and was the subject of his political ads that he paid to air right here on News 12. That business is now also the subject of a lawsuit. It alleges CNH Paving failed to complete projects with the Georgia Department of Transportation. But that's not all. It also accuses Mayor Cranford of transferring property to family members when he agreed to pledge it to the bonding company. But we'll talk about more on all of that, all new tonight on News 12 at 6 o'clock.
All right, thanks for that, Hallie. A lot of questions with this and a lot of answers we're still hoping to get. Switching gears to weather now. You're taking a
coming up.
But first, happening now, First Alert Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale is here not to talk about the weather. We are talking about something else. A beautiful day to be out at the lake and the Bassmaster tournament that is happening behind you. We understand the winners have been announced.
We do have a winner now, Mayor. They just announced it probably about 15 minutes ago. Mr. Anderson Jones from Lander University. He actually had a 2-day total over 43 pounds. He brought in a 24-pound bag today. Very impressive fish brought into the scales. I saw a 7.5-pounder brought in earlier today with one of the teams. But get this is a cool stat. So for the last 2 days, they have caught 4,000 pounds of fish. So incredible stuff. We've had 243 boats fishing in this tournament. Most of the boats have 2-man teams per boat, but the winner today, just talked to him, Mr. Anderson Jones. He was a solo band team and came away with the W, and he said it kind of worked to his advantage, he thinks, but it's just so cool to see all these colleges come to our home lake here at Clarks Hill. We had teams all the way from South Dakota travel here for this tournament this week. A lot of teams from Texas. I saw a lot of different Texas schools here. Who made the top 5? Georgia Southern, Montevallo University, also Lander University, as we just mentioned, and also USC Union. We had a lot of local guys on the Georgia Southern team. We had 2 local guys, one from Deering, one from Appling, and then on the USC Union team, a couple of guys from Greenbrier. So it looked like local knowledge did kind of help out some of those guys today, but the winner had only fished this lake once before. It was about 1.5 years ago, so he tried some different styles, worked out for him, but just a really great time. We had a good crowd now. Things things are quieting down at the moment. They're passing out all their scholarship checks at the moment for all the winners. So that is one of the really cool things about these tournaments is that they get scholarship money, and it's a great way for them to just fish collegiately. And some of them do want to go on to fish at the professional level. That's the thing. If you do well in these college series tournaments, you can qualify to fish the Bassmaster Classic. So that's the goal for a lot of these anglers out here. And if you missed the college tournament the past couple of days, they're going to have the high school tournament out here this weekend. That's going to be a one-day tournament, and it's going to be on Sunday. So if you want to check that out, the 300 boats of high school and middle school anglers are going to be right here at 3 p.m. at Wildwood Park. It should be nice out there.
It is a sight to see, and maybe we can all learn a thing or two from these awesome anglers. Thanks for the update, Riley. The Augusta Museum of History, it has a new exhibit to share with you now. The One Case exhibit is full of the museum's latest acquisitions, a majority of which are donated. Each item tells a different story about Augusta and the surrounding area.
We always want to be able to put some of the new things that we get on exhibit, just so that they get a little bit of exposure to the public, but that we're also able to tell some of these new stories as they're coming in.
The case that's now on display will stick around through the end of the year, so you've got plenty of time to check it out. Just some of the items on display include vintage photographs, a silver boar bristle hairbrush, and a pocket microscope dating back to the early 1940s. There's also some vintage Masters memorabilia that, of course, will be important during tournament week. A battle intensifying over the bathrooms in your kids' schools. Republican lawmakers in Georgia, they're now looking to set boundaries over which restrooms your child can use. Our State House reporter Abby Kasoris has more.
There's a bill in the State House that would require all female and all male restrooms, changing rooms, and showers. If a student is transgender, they'd have their own room. Representative Josh Bonner says his bill is limited to elementary and middle schools.
It is a reaction to what parents across the state are asking for. It's a concern of theirs.
According to a report from the education nonprofit, the Gay Lesbian Straight Education Network, nearly 3/4 of transgender students in Georgia report they're unable to use the school bathroom aligned with their gender.
If there's a child in a school who is confused about their identity, it allows them a specific space that they can go into that is separate from the girls' room or the boys' room.
Georgia Teacher of the Year Tracy Nance says the bill sends a bad message to students.
People think that our kids aren't listening and they're not aware. They are very much aware. And when we put resources into things like separate, bathrooms, it's really trying to point out a problem that's not there.
Groups opposing the bill are readying their response when the Education Committee holds a hearing, likely next week.
Listening to our kids, they are beautiful and they are 100% accepting. Hatred, discrimination, prejudice, those things are taught. Our kids are watching.
The bill includes shared spaces on field trips. In Buckhead, I'm Abby Kasoris.
For years, the Georgia Bulldogs have been calling for change, and now that change is finally here. Why everybody seems to be celebrating. Next.
And we are talking about a beautiful finish to our Friday. After a pretty warm day, we'll see temperatures cooling off this weekend and some clouds and rain pushing in by the second half of the weekend. Stick around to hear more about that.
Time and temp.
A pretty breezy and gusty outlook, but conditions do improve by your Tuesday.
All right, thanks, Mikkel. Dog fans everywhere are celebrating a long-awaited change to football games this fall. Fans 21 and older can now buy beer inside Sanford Stadium during games. As Adam Murphy shows us, many fans are ready to raise a toast.
Let's go, baby! Georgia football fans know how to have a good time. Some might say too good of a time, especially when adult beverages are involved at the pregame tailgate.
I mean, I think it'll be fun. I like to drink, so.
Anna McCabe is a 22-year-old student who is more excited than ever about football in the fall, now that the university will be selling beer and seltzer during home games inside Sanford Stadium.
I'm definitely for it. I think it'll really add to the experience as long as, the crowd can be regulated and people are responsible.
UGA is one of the last schools in the Southeastern Conference to approve alcohol sales during football games. They will roll out the new concept after completing renovations to the stadium and replacing the iconic hedges on the field.
Honestly, I think that it'll probably end up being safer because I think a lot of people feel like they have to pregame really hard.
before they go into the stadium.
But not everyone in Bulldog Nation is in favor of the idea.
Go Dogs!
And for good reason.
I'm not really for it or against it. I don't drink beer because I don't like the taste of beer. When I drink, I do liquor and whiskey, so
I'd probably say I'm against it. Just the people coming in, they're already been drinking, and then on top of that, they'll be drinking more. It's especially a concern within students. I mean, the people who are underage trying to buy beer on the side.
No word yet from the university on safety measures that they plan to take or what kind of beer they will sell in the stadium.
Is there a way to see more of the friends you want to see on Facebook and fewer ads? I'm Jamie Tucker. There is a way, and you don't have to copy and paste something. I'll show you how coming up.
First Alert Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Automotive Group.
We have some breaking news live at 5. The case of a man found dead on his porch in Warrenville Wednesday, that is being investigated as a homicide. The Aiken County coroner says 52-year-old Joseph Keenan Sr. died from being shot. The coroner's office and the Aiken County Sheriff's Office are continuing to investigate. If you spend any amount of time on Facebook, you probably see more ads than posts from your friends. Our consumer tech reporter Jamie Tucker shows us one thing you can change to make a big difference in what shows up in your Facebook feeds.
What the Tech, sponsored by Augusta Preparatory Day School.
There is just a little bit of truth in that OMG it worked Facebook scam going around. You do only see the same 25 or 30 Facebook friends all the time, but you can change that. And not by copying and pasting some scam. Facebook added a feeds option. Not many people know about it or have forgotten it's there. You'll find it by tapping on your photo at the bottom of the screen, and then you'll see at the top of the page a few options. Now, on a computer, you'll find feeds on the left side of the home page. If you tap Friends, it shows you the most recent posts from all of your friends. Favorites are friends you've chosen as people you want to see the most. And if you haven't set that up, Facebook did it for you based on its algorithm. It also added Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg to your favorites list. These are friends you interact with the most. You've sent messages, like their posts, or you have a large number of mutual friends. Now, you can change your list of favorites by searching for them and marking them as favorites. You can only have 30 friends on the list, so you'll have to remove some first, but don't worry, you'll stay friends. They just won't be a BFF, and they won't know you've replaced them. And when you choose to see your favorites feed, not only will you see only those friends, but I found you'll see fewer ads. When I looked at the basic home feed, 30% of what showed up are sponsored ads. But choosing to see just my favorites feed, there were no ads, none at all. There is a downside. It takes a while to add and remove friends from that favorites list, but if you only want to see updates from 30 or so Facebook friends and you never want to see ads, it's worth it. That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
The Carolina Panthers have introduced their new head coach, Dave Canales, to the world. Sports director Dan Booth joins us now to break down the key takeaway from his press conference.
It's not breaking news that it's...
Hey. I'm Samantha. And I'm Savannah. And we're actual clients of Austin Jackson. A girl ran a red light. The tractor trailer was right beside us, so they hit her, causing her to hit us. We rolled 4 times down Washington Road. Her injuries were extensive, and we really needed not just prompt care, but a continued care plan. Once we met with Austin, I felt really sure that we were going to get taken care of. It was definitely nice knowing that we had someone we could trust, working on our case, taking care of things, and explaining every step of the way.
Get Austin Jackson.
The Augusta guy.
We wanted to be...
Right?
Hey.
Take a look at this. Six Flags Over Georgia showing off their newest ride. Ooh, it is a combination roller coaster and water ride called the Georgia Surfer. The park says this is a first of its kind attraction. You sit in free spinning seats on a massive surfboard that launches back and forth along a track, and it flies through, as you can see, a splash pool. Look at that.
Wow.
It is set to open this summer at the park in Atlanta.
I was just trying to process this. I was like, first of all, I was like trying to figure out if it was an animation. Then when I finally realized it was an animation, I'm like, okay, that's a really cool animation. Those are not real people.
But like, what scares me is the
slow spin.
The top.
Yeah.
How it doesn't have like a, it just kind of looks like it just stops.
Yeah.
It almost like what stops it from going all the way up?
I've only seen one ride like this at Wild Adventures in Valdosta. They have something called like a boomerang, and it goes back and forth like this, like almost like a rocker or something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't like the fact that it kind of like spins in a 360 as you're just, that's it going up and down and through the water is enough. You can just, it don't have to spin it for me. If I'm on it, don't spin it.
I'm afraid of it flying off the top. I mean, I know it's not going to, but
yes,
that's a little unnerving.
Okay, it's not going to. Mayor, we're
I
going
know,
claim
but
safety.
it still looks like it could.
It doesn't look like it could though, but hey, surfing ride at Six Flags on the way. So, wow, the sunrise though, or sunset, I'm just all discombobulated now, but the sunset is going down. The sun is going down. The sun is setting. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But it's a beautiful one out there after what was an abnormally warm day. But you see how quickly these temperatures drop. We were at 70 for the past hour, maybe two. Now we're quickly dropping down to 62. We'll see temperatures tonight into the 40s before midnight. Maybe some upper 30s waking up tomorrow morning. And then we'll have to watch out for some clouds rolling in by Sunday. Breezier conditions Sunday and Monday, and also some rainfall for your Sunday and Monday as well.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for that. I know, I'm still thinking about that ride too. That's it for News 12 Live at 5. News 12 at 6 o'clock is up next. Don't go anywhere. Happy Friday, y'all.
Defending champion Justin